I've got to play this for you because this is an example of the two greatest grifters in Australian politics now that Morrison is going and Roberts is going. These two are the two greatest grifters, particularly one of them that I have ever encountered. And I think that this is the most interesting discussion around welfare. So the only party that really has a claim to denigrating welfare recipients probably is One Nation and Pauline Hanson in particular. Yet she is the one that is grifted from politics. So the people that have funded this grift over the years have been us, the taxpayer. And I think it's a classic that she is complaining about what she believes to be the grifters within our social welfare system, those people that are unemployed and so on. And I want you to listen to some of the things that she says here, and think about her. Think about her and Bernardi as well, because he's a grifter, and how they have made money, heaps and heaps of money, from being on the right of politics, for using politics to scheme in politics in order to feather their own nests. It's pathetic, but it's real. And yet there is a hypocrisy about some of the things that they care to talk about.
It's coming up this week. What are your biggest fears about what is actually going to be announced? A lot's been announced already, but about what we don't know yet.
Corey, it's about the handouts. You know, what we're going to see in overspending. You're right in what you said. You know, government has to pull in their spending. It's like if you run your household. If you run over your budget, you actually go into your equity or you actually have to take a loan.
I love the way Pauline Hanson becomes a financial advisor. This is a woman that earned millions of dollars from just winning an election many years ago and then got locked up for fraud. So she is the expert in telling us how we should manage our money.
That loan, unless you actually pull back on your spending, you can't pay back. So you're paying more in interest to the banking system. So the government has to lead by example and pull in their spending. All I see this, and what I've been on about since 2017, is the spending of NDIS. Do you know the nurse who works for the NDIS can get paid 3 times the amount that a nurse in the hospital system? If you're a psychologist, you can paid $195 an hour, and some of these professions, $195 an hour. If it's a very remote area, over $500 an hour. What they pay to these providers.
I think this is incredible because I also benefit from NDIS. The reality is you just can't have that many clients. And number two, the going rate for psychologists in private practice is around $200 an hour. This is what psychologists these days are charging. So if you're offering a psychological service or a nursing service or a professional service, that is what you can charge. So all NDIS is doing is looking at what is a reasonable rate. As far as Pauline Hanson is concerned, she would expect professionals to be charging, $20 an hour. So here's a woman who has no concept whatsoever of what professional people may be charging. You know, if you're a lawyer, they'll charge thousands of dollars an hour. So it depends on your level of expertise and what you bring to the table as to how much you can charge. And these are, I'm afraid, the going rates, whether you like it or not. And there is something bizarre about the fact that this woman, who in herself is a fish and chip shop owner, basically, who has gone into politics, spout all this crap that's been accepted by a small minority of people and got into politics and is now a millionaire. How did that happen if it wasn't for politics? And then she's complaining about what people are earning on NDIS. Oh, she's bloody appalling.
Taxpayers' dollars. The amount of people that jump on this scheme shouldn't be on the NDIS. It is our absolute scheme.
The scheme, I reckon, if we think about this notion around a scheme, is she's on a scheme, a political scheme, in order to make as much money as she can. And as a result of that, the service that she offers, a professional service that she offers, is negligible. There is nothing she contributes to the debate that is sound or effective, and there's nothing that she does in politics that is sound or effective either.
Scam and a rort, and criminals are rorting the system. The other thing, Corey, is
Think about how she's rorting the system.
welfare. Why are we actually propping up welfare? Is it purely for the vote? And they're going to give people over 55.
Now that argument really gets me upset. We're not, it's hard to explain how someone like Pauline Hanson thinks. She lives in a parallel universe that sees people that are on welfare as just a drain on society, that it would be better off if these people didn't receive any funding whatsoever, that they were cluttering our streets, and that we didn't do anything about homelessness, and we didn't do anything about mental well-being, and we didn't try to understand where people on welfare are coming from, and that we shouldn't find ways to lift them out of welfare. Well, Pauline, one of the best ways to lift people out of welfare is to make them feel good about themselves. And part of feeling good about yourselves is being able to provide enough money for food and for rent and for petrol and getting from A to B so you can go to appointments for jobs. This is what makes people feel good about themselves. But she wouldn't understand that, because the only thing Pauline Hanson ever feels good about is denigrating others that she sees are below her. Colour of your skin, migrants, people on low incomes. All these people she sees as lesser than her, and as a result, she has to have a go at them. She's just an appalling human being.
Okay, I understand that. People are doing it tough. But if you
No, you
haven't
don't.
worked for more than 10 years, why should you be getting a helping hand? What about the mums and dads who have to have, each one has to have a job? What about their helping hand? We have to stop the welfare mentality, and that's not government's about.
I think this is a classic because, in a way, she is on welfare. We call out a political salary and we call her a public servant. Not that I see her serving the public, but nevertheless, that's the title that she's got. Yet, she is thinking of people as being, so anyone, again, lesser than her is, and that's on welfare, should simply have it taken away, particularly if you've been on benefits for a long time. And this is one of the reasons for having a go at the NDIS. I think Pauline would prefer to see people that are disabled, long-term disabled, not to have any services at all, and to be struggling. Regardless, there are rorts within the system. No one's denying any of that, and the system needs to be sorted out, and Bill Shorten's doing that as well. But at the end of the day, this woman wants to see anybody that's disadvantaged, anybody that's lesser than her, as being as not being assisted in any particular way. That she sees this issue around power. So she believes that she, as a politician, has the power to provide or to take away. And that for her power comes from taking away and diminishing the lives that other people have that are not like her own. She's a political aristocrat and speaks like some of the people that she's denigrating. So I don't know what to do with this. I'm not going to play any more of this crap from her, but it is evident that which side of the fence she sits on, and Bernardi's the same, and Sky News is the same, Murdoch's the same. So they're espousing all of this crap, and you notice that you don't get Pauline Hanson on any other network any mainstream network talking about this stuff. You just don't. because no one actually wants to hear it really. But we need to call it out, because at the end of the day, it may have some power, it may have some influence, it may convince other people that the people on welfare are bad people, all that sort of shit, which is just so untrue. And it taints those people that are struggling at this particular time to pay their bills, to keep their kids in school, to do the things that they need to do just to survive from day to day. And Pauline and Bernardi would not know what that's like, and if Pauline's been there, she's forgotten about it. So let us know what you think by contacting me here. And I'd really like to think that if you wouldn't mind, if you could subscribe to my channel. And also, if you've got a comment, please make it down below. I'll get back to all comments, and we can have a discussion. And incidentally, if you wish to join us, come and have a chat to me about any issue that you think is important, let me know, and we can organise that as well. Take care, look after yourselves, everybody, and be safe.